Do you want to learn or do you want to get a degree? That is going to be the most important question that you have to ask yourself when considering going to college. Because there's going to be 4 different ways that you can go. One way is that you want to learn and your parents can pay for it. Another way is that you want to learn but you can't pay for it. Another way is that you just want a degree and your parents can pay for it. And the last way is that you want a degree and that you can't pay for it. Now I guarantee you that 95% of you will be in one of those situations. And in this video I'm going to be answering the question whether or not I think that you should be going to college based on those situations. But before I answer that question for you, I'm going to let you know that my parents paid for my degree. Thank you, mom and dad. And I just wanted to get a degree. I did not care about learning. I just wanted to get it so that I can continue in the workforce later in life. And my college experience was absolutely amazing, and you can make yours amazing too if you make it amazing. If you're outgoing and try to go to a bunch of things, you're gonna have a lot of fun, and if you just stay inside all day, you're not gonna have much fun. Some of you might not care about having fun. You're just there to learn or get a degree and continue on with your life. But if you want an awesome 2 to 6 years, you're gonna be able to do that with college. So when I was a senior in high school, I had the choice of going to 2 colleges, either Chico State or Northern Arizona University. I ended up choosing NAU. It was a really tough choice, and in the end, I think I made the right decision. Now here's where I'm gonna come back to my initial question. Do you wanna learn or do you want a degree? Like I said earlier, I didn't wanna learn, I just wanted a degree, so I didn't care too much about my studies. So I decided to go with a major that was really easy, and I did really well my freshman year. The classes were all really easy, and that's mostly because I only had 100 level classes, which is the lowest tier. But in terms of school, it was a breeze because I made it that way. If you're there to learn, make sure that you really do an in-depth analysis of each major and find out which one suits you best. If you want a high-paying job, you're most likely gonna have to go into STEM, and you better really like STEM if you're gonna be in those classes. Because I'll tell you, I was having the easiest time with my classes. However, my classmates that were in STEM majors were literally up to their neck in books. So yeah, if you're there to learn, make sure you pick a major that you're very interested in. Now, if you're just there to get a degree, I would say just do whatever you're best at, or pick a really easy major. Me personally, I dabbled with advertising before I even went to college, so I decided, hey, that would probably be easy. And it made my college experience that much better because I didn't struggle with any of the classes and I got really good grades. So I could basically do whatever I wanted in my free time because I didn't have to stress about the things I had to do later because I did them extremely quickly. And that's gonna lead me into what I did in my free time as a freshman. I basically just made YouTube videos. On this channel is where I made my YouTube videos, and they were absolutely terrible. That's basically all I did. I had about 10 to 12 friends and I had an absolute blast, and I wanted to come back. Now there were times that I wanted to quit college and do something else with business. However, I had nothing on the horizon, so I didn't do that. And that's gonna lead me into my sophomore year. Remember when I said that college is what you make of it? Well, my sophomore year is an exact example of that. I decided to join a fraternity. Now I went into college thinking I would never join a fraternity, but my new roommates that I moved in with sophomore year were all in Greek life, so they convinced me to go out and try it out. And I absolutely loved one of the fraternities, and luckily I got in. Now joining a fraternity is a very big time commitment. However, I had time because of the way I set myself up. Now going back to the learning versus degree, I just wanted a degree, so I didn't care if my straight A's went to A's and a couple of B's because I was still doing good. My parents were happy, I was happy. So I had the time commitment to give to joining Greek life, and I'm very happy I did. And don't get me wrong, there were people in my fraternity that were definitely there to learn and in STEM majors and were able to do it as well. I don't know if everyone is able to do that though. You kind of have to be built a little different. However, I was set up perfectly and I had so much fun my pledge semester. I met so many different people and I had the time of my life. And then in my second semester of sophomore year, COVID hit and everything hit the fan. I think I got a D+ in one of my classes and A's and B's in the rest, but that was because of my one teacher. I'm not gonna name her, but screw you. And overall, my fraternity experience, my amazing college experience, went to crap. However, I lived in Arizona, so going into my junior year, they were a little bit more lenient than say the California schools. And I was able to go back my junior year, but something really amazing happened my junior year. I started a YouTube channel with my best friend Kyle, and it had varying levels of success. You see, all throughout college, I was trying to make different businesses, whether it was e-commerce, building Instagram theme pages, white labeling, anything you can think of, I tried it while I was in college. I was also trying to make YouTube channels with my best friend Kyle, but none of them worked. And then all of a sudden, we made a channel called Finance Bro. And we basically just started making videos every single day and started posting on TikTok. We started that in October of 2020, and by February of 2021, we had made our first $10,000 off of various things from our social media pages. This was absolutely life-changing to me, and I decided to make it a real business in California. It's an LLC, you can look it up, and I have been doing that ever since. However, this is a key component. I was basically giving half my time to that business and half of that time to school, and you're not able to do that if you're there to learn. See, if you're someone that wants to be an entrepreneur, do something that is outside of the norm, going to college is not always going going to be the best thing, especially if you're the one paying for it. This is a time where if I was paying for college, I would have dropped out at this point to pursue Finance Bro all the way. However, since my parents were paying for it, I felt bad and I stayed in. But something you have to think about is if you're there to learn and you pick a hard major, you're not going to be able to do something like that, or you're not going to be able to do it at the same scale. But yeah, my junior year capped off with life getting back to normal. That summer went really well, and going into my senior year, actually things started to get a little bit shaky. You see, my business's revenue started to drop off, and I was looking at facing the real world in about 9 months. I wanted to move out of my parents' place as soon as I was done with college, and as you know, life is expensive. Luckily, I had set up a schedule in a way that benefited me, so I had a very easy schedule going into my senior year. And in October of 2021, Kyle and I were able to scale our business to do $20,000 in the span of 2 months just with YouTube AdSense alone. And I was able to do all this because I was able to give so much of my time to YouTube and our business, and we were able to grow that. The rest of my senior year went amazing, and I can proudly say I moved out at this point, and I have been for over 4 months. So my college experience was great, but I was operating from the I wanted a degree and my parents were paying for it. If you are in college to learn and your parents are paying for it, I think you are in the perfect place. I don't think you should be doing anything differently. Just make sure you pick your major correctly. Now, if you are in college to learn, but your parents cannot pay for it and you are going to struggle to pay for it, I think it's still worth it only if you're going to be going into a STEM major. This is because you're going to be able to pay off your loans if you're in a STEM major. I'm sorry to say, if you pick anything outside of STEM, it's going to be extremely hard to go to a 4-year school and pay off all the loans that you rack up. I think you guys already know, in my opinion, if you are there to get a degree and your parents can pay for it, I think take that 4-year vacation, 6-year vacation, however long it is, because you're going to be able to get a degree that you can show your employers, or you're going to be able to do what I did and create a successful business and be ready to go right outside of college. Finally, if you are just there for a degree and your parents can't pay for it and you're going to struggle to pay for it, I don't think that you should be going to college, because at the end of the day, you do not care about these classes and you are going to struggle to finish college because you do not care and you are just there to have fun and party. However, you are building up a massive debt. So this is the only case that I think for sure you should not be going to college. All the other ones, I think it is your decision to make and have fun making it. And that's going to be the most important thing, just making sure that it's going to be a net positive for you being at college and that you're not wasting your time or wasting your money. I had an absolutely amazing time at college because I made the most of it. And if you're going to go to college, make sure you do that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.